Hello, investors. It's time to look at stage 8 of our 10-stage process or 10-step process, and that is ownership and the things you need to be thinking about as an owner of a rental property. Owning a rental property can be financially rewarding, but it also comes with some responsibilities. One of the things that we want to focus first on is safety, as well as landlord licensing. As a landlord, it's your responsibility to follow all local, state, and federal safety codes for your property and to maintain it in a safe condition for your tenants. So, this comes with some maintenance costs. This also is something that you should be thinking about as you're purchasing your property and evaluating the condition that the property is in. Additionally, some locations, and this is happening more and more, have what they call landlord licensing or rental registration, where you have to get a license from the city to own and rent out a property. Some of those have very strict rules, some have very loose rules. It just depends. It's important for you to know what they are so that you can be prepared and factor that cost and experience into your process. Now, your property manager, if you've got a good one, should be able to help you with that and manage that effectively for you. It is your responsibility, secondly, as a landlord to maintain insurance on the property. And this is your safety net. So be mindful as to the risks that you may or may not be taking with your insurance. What I've found is that it is when you just talk to your insurance agent, when they tell you, oh, this is a great policy, that really what you need to do is ask all the questions, have them explain to you every single clause and aspect in that policy. Some insurance coverage may not include vacancy or may not include vacancy past 30 days. Some may include theft, some may not include theft. Some may include tornadoes, some may not include tornadoes. So making sure you understand exactly what's covered and exactly what isn't and deciding what's best for your risk reward profile and cost is important. You're going to have to pay a mortgage if you have financing. So you're on the hook for that. Uh, you may have a property manager that will make those payments on your behalf. Our property management company does not do that, primarily because we're not always certain that we have the cash on hand to do that if there are maintenance needs or something like that. So that is a responsibility that you will have. And of course, taxes. Everybody loves taxes, right? Actually, this often for real estate investors is a good thing because while yes, you do have to pay taxes and there are property taxes and other things like that, the you should be factoring that into your analysis, your numbers to see that it cash flows after paying for those things. And there are benefits. There are federal and state tax benefits, such as depreciation, which is a non-cash expense that allows you to reduce your income from your rental and keep more cash. So there are some great benefits to on your taxes to having rental real estate, and our system is set up to encourage property ownership. So that's a good thing. Maintenance. We've talked about maintenance. We find that it's best to maintain your property well. If you maintain your property well, we often find that tenants will maintain the property well, and we often find that tenants will stay longer. Happy tenants tend to stay in a property longer. Less turnover means less cost for you, less vacancy, and that also means likely more rent increases and therefore more profitability. Uh, Take your time when you're going through and calculating and running your numbers. Know what your operating costs are. Calculate those operating expenses so that you really can understand what your property is going to do. And then lastly, legal obligations. Rental owners need to be familiar with landlord-tenant laws in the states and cities, and they also need to understand tenants' rights as well as fair housing rules. Often we have clients on our property management company asking us to do things that will violate fair housing rules, and that is we just don't do that. Obviously, we wouldn't be in business if we did that. But we can't discriminate on a number of protected classes. And so understanding that as a rental property owner is important for you because it will help you work better with your property manager. I know that some of these things may, if this is your first time, this may seem like a lot, but it's really not overwhelming once you go through this step by step, and we're here to help you. So I hope that you ponder these things, research them, understand them a little bit more, ask good questions of your property manager, and really get comfortable with what owning a rental property is going to mean for you. And we're here to help, and we look forward to the journey with you.